Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and to my colleagues for your very articulate words today. Mr. Speaker, I rise with great pride as we move forward with a bipartisan bill to award the last living Nuremberg prosecutor, a prosecutor against Nazi criminals, Mr. Benjamin Ferencz, awarding him the Congressional Gold Medal, Congress's highest expression of appreciation for distinguished achievements. In this day of partisan conflict, this is a rare show of bipartisanship with 296 co-sponsors from both sides of the aisle. Mr. Ferencz is 102 years old, and to this day is a tireless advocate for the rule of law and international justice. I have met Ben Ferencz because I am blessed to say he is my constituent in Delray Beach, Florida, and he remains very alert and very humble. My colleagues have said it, and I'm going to quickly repeat a little of his history. Mr. Ferencz immigrated to the United States with his family. He was only 10 months old to escape the persecution of Jews in Eastern Europe. Grew up in New York City, eventually earning degrees from City College and Harvard Law School before serving in the Army during World War II. He enlisted under General Patton before being transferred to a newly created war crimes unit to help collect evidence of Nazi war crimes. He would enter concentration camps and come face to face with the horrors of the Nazi regime's systematic murder of millions of Jews. He once said, "Even today, when I close my eyes, I witness a deadly vision I can never forget. The Crimea aglow with the fire of burning flesh. The mounds of emaciated corpses stacked like cordwood waiting to be burned. I had peered into hell." After the war, he was honorably discharged and awarded 5 battle stars for his service. And that's when he was recruited for his most notable role, chief prosecutor of the Nuremberg trial, that was later called the biggest murder trial in history. At age 27, it was his first case, and yet he rose to the occasion, reminding the courtroom and the world that this was a case that dealt with our humanity. And in his closing statement, he concluded that the Nazis on trial, death was their tool and life was their toy. And if they were found innocent, then the law has lost its meaning, and man must live in fear. And not only did his words ring true in the courtroom, where all 22 Nazi officials he prosecuted were brought to justice, they resonated around the world and have been quoted time and time again when the international community rallies to decry crimes against humanity. And nearly 80 days after the conclusion of these trials, we meet here during Jewish American History Month, after having just celebrated Israel's Independence Day and observing Yom HaShoah, the day set aside for Jews to remember the Holocaust. It is important to recognize we're still fighting the ongoing battle against racism, anti-Semitism, and Holocaust denial in this country and around the world. And we are witnessing the horror of inhumanity of Putin's war on Ukraine. So the timing of this bill has never been more important, because Mr. Ferencz inspires us to stand up to the cruel barbarians of this world. Mr. Ferencz said it best. Nuremberg taught me that creating a world of tolerance and compassion would be a long and arduous task. His lifelong philosophy of law and war and never give up was quoted recently by Ukraine's ambassador. And today, in bipartisan fashion, we're going to recognize this magnificent man committed to justice, peace, and human dignity with a Congressional Gold Medal. Thank you, and I yield back.